What's going on, everybody? It's Moonshine, the Hillbilly Hellraiser. Welcome to another Moonshine Talking. How the hell you doing? I'm doing good. Can't complain. Just I sound like an old man here, but I took a nap a little bit earlier. I guess my body was a little bit more run down than I realized after getting in a halfway decent workout and then just working hard and playing hard and all that sort of thing. But yeah, so now I'll probably be bouncing off the walls. I think half of my problem is I screwed up my sleep schedule yesterday. Uh, Drank a little coffee a little too late in the evening, and then I was all wound up for most of the night. Couldn't get to sleep till the wee hours of the morning, and that just kind of threw my whole schedule off, which kind of sucked because I had plans, but I didn't I canceled those plans just because my schedule was all jacked up. So, but it happens, and you know, you sleep when you can, get in your rest when you can, and just try to recharge the old mind and body and spirit and all that. But since I've got a little bit of time, well, I've got plenty of time to kill. It's still my weekend. I decided that what I was gonna do, since I know everybody's they're doing their end of year list. Oh, my neck just popped. But they're doing their end of year lists and everybody's kind of doing all that sort of thing. I haven't really fulfilled or filled out mine yet, really gone through it. Still got got a few things I'm trying to do and coordinate, get my ducks in a row, all that sort of good thing. So I figured what I would do is I would do like a little palate moistener, a little teaser, if you will, a little foreplay. And what I'm going to talk about is some of the stuff that I missed, albums that came out, and I either I heard them once or I didn't hear them at all. I forgot about them, stuff that was on my radar, and then it completely went off, and I just forgot all about it. And I think that's kind of what the fun thing about these end of year lists and people talking about all the albums of the year and stuff like that. It's cool because so many people have such a wide variety of tastes. They follow a different path to all the different bands that they listen to or the albums that they purchase through the year. And it's cool because then you find stuff that either you didn't know about, you didn't realize was out, maybe you did or you forgot about it, like I did on quite a few things, or stuff that you just really didn't spend a lot of time with. So kind of get into that, and then I'm going to talk about some stuff that I anticipate coming up in the new year. I'm sure people will be talking about that a little bit later after the year, because that's one of the kind of the, for lack of a way of describing it, a trend that pops up. But I'm just going to talk about some of the stuff I'm looking forward to in the upcoming year. And then I'll go over some EPs that I listen to because as far as my end of the year list, I mostly stick with the full length stuff that I listen to. I don't really do the EPs, but I did want to give some a little bit of attention because they were good. They're worth your time and money and attention. So that's what I'm doing. So okay, let's start off here. So a lot of the albums that I missed this year because I did listen to a lot, but there were some that just either like I say, they either went over my head or I only listened to once or twice and didn't really spend a lot of time with, invest a lot of time with, uh, make my own or whatever, however you want to describe it. So first off was the new Revocation album, New Gods, New Masters. I heard it once. It was good. I enjoyed it. Beyond that, I couldn't really tell you too much about it. I did not spend a lot of time with it, but I know a lot of people liked it. They were here recently, and it's hilarious because I swear the bookers who book shows in Tampa must have a vendetta against me because it seems like nobody books metal shows on the days that I'm off anymore. It's always either Tuesday nights or Saturday nights or Sundays or just days that I don't have time to go to a show. And it sucks because there's been a few halfway decent bands that have come through that I haven't gotten a chance to see. And then like recently, just as an aside, it was my night off and I was driving down the street and one of the local clubs, I see there's a line way down the street and I'm wondering who the hell's playing. So I scroll through my phone, look, and it was Blind Guardian. And I don't really listen to Blind Guardian. I'm not a huge power metal guy. I never really got into the Blind Guardian, Hammerfall. I like a little bit of Halloween, but not too much. I would say probably the closest I come with power metal is probably Manowar, or maybe even like a Sabotage, early Sabotage, stuff like that. But by and large, I just really don't listen to it. Dragon Force, I don't like Dragon Force. I don't know if that's considered power metal or speed metal. It's just a lot, too much wankery going on the guitar. But they were there, and I was like, well, it's a Thursday. Might as well just go check it out. It seems like it'd probably be a good time. And I saw ticket prices, it was $56. And I was like, you got to be out of your goddamn minds. You know, they had Ensiferum and a couple other bands, like those pagan folk bands that I also, again, really am not really into. I'm not into like all the Ailstorm and stuff like that. I don't really. I don't need a whole lot of flutes and harpsichords and lutes. I need flutes and lutes and fiddles and stuff like that. You know, if I want to hear all that stuff, I'll probably try a different type of music, but it doesn't really do much for me. But anyhow, that was kind of like my aside. So they were here. I forget who they were with, but didn't get to see them. But heard the album once. It sounded all right, but nothing that I could really, I couldn't really tell you too much about. Same thing with Sacrifice, Volume 6, Canadian thrash band, old school veterans of the scene. They put out their album this year. I heard it once. I kept meaning to go back to it and potentially pick it up. And it was one of those, I just never did. I either, my interest went to something else or I just forgot about it. And so I couldn't really tell you too much about it. But in fairness, I don't really. Sacrifice is one of those bands I never really made my own. I've heard about them over the past few years, but never really gotten into them. So, I mean, I guess in that regard, it's not really the worst thing in the world. Uh, Castle Rat is another one who I heard their album a couple times. The Bestiary sounded good. For the most part, I remember there was a couple of dull moments in there for me at least, but some good songs. Actually played a couple at my store, and a few of the staff seemed to like it. So I said, "Oh, okay, that accounts for something. Maybe I should play some Castle Rat in here and see if people dig it." But didn't really sit down with it. Didn't make it. Didn't really invest a lot of time into it. They're one of those bands. I know they're hot right now. They're like one of the ones that I think the metal media and the tastemakers, if you will. I think they're trying to make them like the new Ghost, especially with they have a fairly attractive female vocalist, and they've got a whole shtick. They got the chick, the hot stripper looking chick with the big booty, and she wears like a plague doctor mask or some. She's like a rat head or something like that. So they get kind of like a shtick that's in there between like kind of half-assed. It's like Ghost and Guar with sex appeal and less blood. But didn't really listen to the Bestiary, point being. But it sounded good. Beyond that, didn't really listen to it, so I couldn't really give you I couldn't expound upon my opinion about Castle Rat. Same thing with Faytooth, another band. They had an album called Labyrinthine. Heard it once, never went back to it, and I know some people really enjoyed it. But I didn't spend a lot of time with it. They're more doomy, all female doomy metal band, and that's kind of right up my alley. But just didn't really spend any time with it. Same thing with Candlemass. Candlemass put out Black Star, their EP. It had a couple covers on there, Black Sabbath, Pentagram, a couple new tunes. I think I heard it once when it first came out. I listened to it on Bandcamp, and I really didn't think too much of it. I saw What's His Nuts, Quest for Metal. He did his best of album review. I saw that. He did a most disappointing, and this was on that one. I didn't listen to it enough to give an opinion either way, but it didn't do much for me, and I love Candlemass, so I mean, I guess that says something about it. And then a couple of albums that I didn't listen to at all. Uh, Night, Cult of the Serpent Sun. That was one of the ones that I heard a lot of people talk about. Just never listened to it. Same with Frenolith. They put out an album, Ashen Womb. I think I might have heard that once. I think maybe I heard that once. And I think Anthony from Metal Miners recommended it in one of his collection updates. And I checked it out. And I don't really remember too much about it. So it's either I listened to it and didn't really think too much of it or forgot about it and never went back to it, or I just didn't listen to it. But I think I listened to it once. Also, Faith Extractor. I don't know. Speaking of Anthony, he's it was he swears by them, says how good they are. They put out another album, Loathing in the Noose. They put out a new album this year. I heard a lot of people were talking this one up, said how good it was. Anthony, the Thralls of Metal guys, a couple other people who do metal reviews and stuff like that, talk about metal and stuff like that. But again, just didn't listen to it at all. I mean, maybe I'll check it out in the future, but beyond that, couldn't tell you a damn thing about it. And then finally, and I do feel shame for not remembering this, but Kirk Winstein put an album out. Kirk from Crowbar. He put out a solo album, Ethereal Waves. Uh, I knew it came out. I was gonna pick it up. I think I looked at how much it was going to cost when I was at work after hours. And then I just, come home and you kind of wind down from your day at work and went to sleep, completely forgot about it, and never thought about it again. I might have maybe in passing, I thought about it once or twice. And then it just kind of like went off my radar, went off of any thought I had in mind about it, just disappeared between all the things that life tends to throw at you. So it wasn't really high on my priority list. I listened to it tonight actually, and it was good. It wasn't great. It was like in between. It was like a bridge between Kingdom of Sorrow, his project with Jamie Jasta, and some Crowbar stuff. There was a couple of good tunes on there. There was a couple that I was like, eh. He did a Beatles cover he did Eleanor Rigby, and I don't like the Beatles, so that did nothing for me. I could give a crap about that. And but yeah, it was another one that I really didn't listen to that much. I didn't put any time in investing into it. I didn't really talk too much about it. So that is spoiler alert. If you have any interest in my opinion on what the best albums of the year are, these will not be on that list because I didn't listen to them or I didn't spend enough time listening to them. So it kind of give you a general idea of, I guess, if you're like eagerly anticipating the Moonshine Best of the Year, Moonshine Talking album of the year review, then okay, that's not gonna be on there. That's not gonna be on there. Okay, uh, so that's that. And then let's talk about some stuff that I'm anticipating for next year. Uh, we'll go. We'll leap ahead a little bit. As far as stuff that's coming out, I was watching Nate Garrett from Spirit Adrift, his Big Riff Energy channel. That's actually where I remembered about the Kurt Winstein album. He was talking about that they got all the stuff for a new Spirit Adrift album ready to go. So I'm guessing that they're going to put a new album out, or he's going to put a new album out this year. That'd be cool. I like the album from last year. I like Ghost in the Gallows. It was one of my favorites from last year. I like Spirit Adrift as a band. I enjoy seeing them live whenever they come down here. Very cool. Very good sound, good style. We share a lot of common tastes in music, so it's not surprising that the type of music that he likes to put out there is the sort of stuff that I would be into. And yeah, so I'm interested in seeing that come out. I've already mentioned it, but Worm have a new album coming out, Necropalace. It's coming out on Century Media. definitely interested in that. I was gonna pre-order it, but I don't want to do that right now just because for personal reasons. And so I'll wait on that. I'm I'm probably gonna check out the new Anthrax album whenever that comes out. I mean, it's Anthrax. I know people give them shit, and they kind of, Scott's kind of cringe at times, and Charlie, he's off doing Pantera, and they don't really seem to be too focused on Anthrax, but I'll check it out and I'll see how it sounds, and maybe it's good, maybe it's crap, I don't know, but I'll give it a chance because it's Anthrax, one of the big four of thrash in the US. So, I grew up on Anthrax, so definitely give them a chance. Same with Megadeth. They got a self-titled coming out on the 28th. It's their last album. I'll give it a chance. I haven't listened to any new Megadeth in a while. I probably tapped out of Megadeth back in Countdown to Extinction listening to that. That was probably the last album that I really listened of theirs. So kind of give you an idea of how far off of the Megadeth train I fell. But I'll listen to it. I heard the single that they put out. It sounded fine. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It's not Rust in Peace. It's not Countdown to Extinction. It's not So Far So Good. Peace Sells. Killing is my business. It's none of the classic stuff, but I'll give it a chance. What's the worst thing? You think it's bad and you don't listen to it again. So, whatever. You buy it, you don't like it, just go sell it, go give it to somebody. I don't know. Do something like that. Uh I'm also very much anticipating Down's new album coming out. I thought it was supposed to come out this year. Apparently I was wrong. It was one of the things I was really anticipating at the beginning of last year, and it didn't come to fruition. I'm sure they all got busy with Phil doing the Pantera thing, Kirk doing some stuff with Crowbar, touring with Crowbar. I think Pepper and COC, they're also putting some new material out, and they've got some stuff coming out pretty soon. So they're involved with that. That spoiler is another thing I'm really looking forward to. I love COC. If you've watched my channel enough, you've seen me wear my COC stuff. But very much a fan, particularly of the stoner doom stuff that they do. I really love a lot of that stuff. I love Blind, Deliverance, In the Arms of God, America's Volume Dealer, all that stuff. Wise Blood. I love all that stuff. It's just killer southern rock, groove metal, doomy kind of stuff. A band that's influenced by Pentagram and The Obsessed and Saint Vitus, and at the same time old school outlaw country and Leonard Skinner and like Molly Hatchet and stuff like that. It's the Outlaws, stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with some of that stuff. ZZ Top, just old school classic rock, which these guys are a little bit old. They're older than me, and I'm not a young lad. So, of course, they're going to be into that sort of stuff. But yeah, definitely looking forward to new COC. Definitely looking forward to the new Down. I love Down. They're one of my favorite bands. So, I'm anticipating that. I'll just throw this out into the universe because I know they're out there touring again. If the Sword wants to put some new stuff out, I'd be down for that. Uh, Also, while I'm thinking about it, Electric Wizard. I mean, I keep hearing that they're putting a new album out. It's going to be their last one. I don't know how long it's going to take them to complete that, but it'd be nice if that came out this year. That'd be killer. And then finally, Clutch. Clutch is supposed to put out a new album. Again, another one that was supposed to have come out or was scheduled to come out late this year, but just never did. I don't know what the holdup is. I know they're out touring and everything. Sadly, I missed them when they were down here in Florida. They were here the night before Halloween. Halloween's a very busy time at my job. So even though I had the night off, by the time I was given the green light that I had the night off, I did not have any time to prepare to go from where I live in the Tampa area all the way to Fort Lauderdale, which is where they were playing. They're playing, I think, at House of Blues. They're one of my favorite local bands. Hollow Leg was opening for them, so I was kind of bummed that I missed that, getting to see them play with a band as big as Clutch is. But it is what it is. But I'm looking forward to new Clutch. I love Clutch, another of my favorite bands. I mean, how do you not love Clutch? I mean, they're just so cool. I know some of the underground people kind of bristle, people are really deep into the underground, and but Clutch is a fun band. I mean, I don't see how if you have any ties to just like classic rock or blues rock or anything like that, how you don't like Clutch. They're fun. I mean, you see, I got stuff all over the walls. I got shirts and probably more stuff around here somewhere. But anyhow, and then I said finally, but no, finally actually, uh, Barbarian. I don't know how many people are familiar with Barbarian, but they're putting out a new album in January called Rika God. It's coming out on Dying Victims Productions. Dying Victims is quickly becoming one of my favorite labels, particularly underground stuff. They put out a lot of killer stuff. Barbarian's a very cool band. I discovered them through discovering Hell's Headbangers, and yeah, they're awesome. I love Cult of the Empty Grave, Viper Face. They're very cool Italian black thrash three piece. If you haven't heard them, go check them out. I'm going to discuss them a little bit in the future, but I'm definitely stoked for that one. And that's some of my anticipated new releases that will be or will hopefully be coming out this year. I should just as a goof say Wasp, but just like last year, and apparently this has been an ongoing gag with Blackie Lawless, is this new Wasp album is apparently it's been taking forever to finally produce. So I don't know, maybe it's gonna be like Guns N' Roses. I mean, Guns N' Roses just put some new material out, so who knows? Maybe it'll light a fire under Blackie's ass and he'll actually put some new stuff out. But I doubt it. I think it's gonna be one of those things where maybe one day we'll get it. I don't know. Maybe now that I feel like they're kind of like he's winding down and Wasp isn't going to be playing too much anymore. Maybe the random spot show here and there. I don't know. Maybe we'll finally get it, but I couldn't tell you. So I'm not holding my breath on that one. So finally, to close out here, I wanted to talk about some of my favorite EPs from this past year. So to start with, let's start with this one. This is Saturnian Appendices by Crypt Sermon. Crypt Sermon is a fantastic band from Pennsylvania. They're a six piece that kind of does a bit more progressive doomy kind of stuff. Very much more in the atmospheric, leaning more into the epic doom kind of stuff. Keys and synths and stuff like that. Fantastic EP. I'm not going to waste your time going through a whole big spiel about any of these things. I just show them to you and tell you that, just the fact that I have them here and I'm talking about them will let you know I thought highly of them. Um, Next up, I did a review on this. Hopefully, if you want, go check it out. But this is a very cool album that I picked up from APF Records. This is an album, EP on disc, Loathe for Life by a band called Void Lurker. If you like anything in the vein, they're from England. If you like anything from Birmingham, actually, same place as Sabbath. The song SOB, that's actually an acronym for Slums of Birmingham. Very cool stuff. If you like Buzz Oven, if you like Grief, Electric Wizard, stuff like that, definitely go give Void Lurker a chance. They're a killer band. Uh, Very cool stuff. Like I love all the doom and stuff like that and the doomy sludgy kind of stuff. So this was right up my alley and I really enjoyed the hell out of that one. I listened to it a ton. So definitely go check out Load for Life by Void Lurker. This one is our boy Drucifer. This is Trench Tombs by his band Iron Casket. It's a very cool EP. More along the line, Iron Casket's more like a Black and Death kind of band, veering into war metal. Very cool. Drew doesn't get paid by the hour when he plays his music, so that's what you can expect from this. Expect from this. It's fast, 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 aggressive, mean, and nasty. All sorts of. I mean, you can look at the album or the EP, and you can see it's mainly focused on war and themes of war, stuff like that. Very cool stuff. Unfortunately, Drew's not on YouTube anymore. He got a perma ban because of some of the content that he discusses. So go check his channel out on Rumble. If I remember, I'll put a link to his channel on Rumble, but Drew's a good dude. I appreciate his insight, his opinions on not just metal, but his political stuff. I know some people try to stay away from the political stuff, but that's what his Rumble channel's for. You go check him out there if you want to check out any of that stuff. And speaking of him, he gets to perform double duty on this video because his EP for the band Clawhammer Coven, his project that he did with Revok from Mordant Red, is just tremendous. It's a excellent combination. Kravik Records, that's I think is something that Revok himself put out independently. That's his own deal. Very cool stuff. I did a quick review of this, but I didn't show this. He's got a very cool little poster deal with the lyric sheet and all that sort of stuff. But very cool stuff. It's what if you're familiar with, you know, this wasn't planned. Me putting the Morden Red shirt on. I just wanted to put on a sleeveless tee because it's getting a little warm out. It just so happened I threw the Morden Red one on. That wasn't planned or anything like that. It just kind of worked out that way. But yeah, it is killer stuff. If you like Morden Red, if you're familiar with Morden Red, you're familiar with Drew and his bands Iron Casket and Infuriator, then you'll like this. It's very good mix of like like the punkish hardcore elements that you get from Morden Red combined with the black metal, and then the speedier, more thrashy elements that you'll get from Drew's band. So very cool stuff. Go check it out. The name itself, "Worship Satan and Kill Yourself." It's just excellent, excellent stuff. I really enjoyed the hell out of that. So those are some of my favorite EPs from this past year, my anticipated releases, and a bunch of stuff that I missed this year. So hopefully enjoyed it. Be a little bit of a palate wetner. Hopefully I got you all moist and ready to go, ready anticipating what I'm going to talk about in a week or two around, closer to the new year. And which yeah, actually marks it'll be the third year of my channel because I started my channel on New Year's Eve 2023 doing it did not just my album my best of the year, but I did my Iron Claw review. That was the first video that I did where I finally decided, you know what, I'm gonna share my opinions with the world, and you can like it, love it, or disregard it, which by and large, most of you just disregard it. But nonetheless, yeah, man, that's what I got for you. Hope you enjoyed it, everybody. This is Dan. This has been Moonshine Talking. Everyone have a good one. Take it easy. As always, stay sick, stay heavy, stay brutal. Always tuck your chin upon impact. Don't forget to breathe. Have a good one. I'll catch you on the next video. Later.